What is this bullshit? Ugh. Of all the times to crash. See if the auto resolve magically works this time. You know what? Didn't lose any artillery. I'm fucking taking. That's basically the same result. I don't give a shit. Let's recruit some conscripts. Man. That is a rough situation. Up here in Amsterdam. It's not even that I don't have the money, it's just that I don't have the recruitment slots. That's where we're at with this. Oh boy. Should I retreat? I take Christopher Lee out of Holland. Let him take it so that I don't lose all of these units that take forever to recruit. Honestly, I think the answer is yes. While we contemplate that, I'm going to open a Pepsi, which may or may not get edited out depending on how loud it is. That was like under the desk, but it still peaked the mic. Alright, we'll have to see. Okay. I can't not deal with this problem. I just can't not. Okay. So this at least is going pretty well. Down here. Okay, and then we can send this bonus artillery down here. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still too short. But man, I gotta pump infantry. I can't not. You know what this is? This is the Schlieffen Plan, except enacted by Austria-Hungary, and through all the way through Holland, not just Belgium, but also Holland. And in 1919. This is Schlieffen Plan Mark II. These units, and them being able to restore back up to full strength, is so much more valuable to me right now than control of Holland. So much more valuable. Speaking of control of Holland, let's save some cash real quick. Let's just reclaim some of that sweet cash that's been sunk into there. Going to disappear next turn, most likely. Oh, do they like just keep counting down, and then once they get to 0, they sit here until the blockade is lifted? That's interesting. There it is. They're not actually taking it from me. No, dude. My other ally... I honor my agreements, Denmark. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Okay. And this other plane is going to Vienna. Have a nice trip. The Austrians have divided their force somewhat. Unfortunately, though, fortunately, I'm really not in a position to take advantage of that. Okay. Yeah.
We are victorious.
Yep, there we go.
Send them to Davy Jones' locker. We are victorious.
And get the fuck out. Okay. Some of the force disparity dealt with. This army in a very vulnerable position, but it'll be fine. They did not attack this on the first turn, which tells me that they're never going to. Just gonna wait until the timer expires. That's how the AI works. Either they attack it on the first turn. I mean, especially now, because these guys are within reinforcement range, I guess. Anyway. Let's build some more ships. How about that? Got the cash for it, finally. After putting in a lot of hard work, we finally have the cash to build a fleet. Well, I mean, sure, dude. Okay. Well, sometimes you put in a lot of work and leads to nothing of value. Alright, boys, I have a plan.
Troops, forward.
at least attempt to deal with the Austrian menace. Yep, here we go. You made a poor decision to intercept me, sir.
We shall rule the waves.
So that you're aware, that's a very, very poor decision.
Enseguida, señor.
Extremely poor. Okay. Wide open over here. But does not appear to be any immediate threat to that area. I'm gonna keep Austria, then I can put all this money back in here. You know, all the things took it away from. I won't do that though, because I'll probably just get raided again. And that's enough for another Royal Sovereign class. So, is there anybody? Okay, there's... Yeah, there are these 3 armies here are still at full strength. The ones in back. Well, this one isn't a 20 stack, but he's still... But everybody else is not actually as big as they look like they are. I am happy to sit for another turn and let these guys recoup. Happy. Oh! Shit, dude. Oh, it's not actually the one that's been trying to land all this time. It's the one that just came in now. Well, I'm glad I finally get to shut it down.
We rule the waves. Por mi honor.
Yet another failed Irish Spring. Amsterdam. Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Let the devil take the hindmost. Don't let that prize escape. We rule the
There we go.
waves. Por la libertad de España.
¿En qué puedo ayudarle, señor?
And
Huzzah! Prize money awaits.
well, you know what? Let's see what happens.
Hip, hurrah! Hip,
Bruh.
hip, hurrah!
Bro, that was such a large battle. Such a large battle.
¿Qué hay que hacer, señor?
Okay, well,
Chase those scurvy dogs. We are
you know,
victorious.
this guy hasn't even used his... What do I want to use this guy's move points?
¿En qué puedo ayudarle, señor?
I think I'm gonna chill
Pongo a su disposición.
and let him recover a little bit.
¿Cómo puedo ayudarle?
And
Vaya con Dios.
yeah, the menace here has been largely dispersed. They do not have the capability of replenishing their forces because this territory belongs to me, so that problem is pretty much dealt with. Oh, could I take a chance now? Hold on. Hold on.
Let the devil take the hindmost.
So, actually, you know what my real mistake here is? My real mistake is not having an admiral. Like, the amount of combat effectiveness that actually buys me is not insignificant. Okay. Try this again. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that. Okay. Thomas Cochrane. 1 century out of place, but still going. Actually, you know what I can just do? I can just, like... These guns are long enough range, right? Isn't that just, like... Like, there's basically nothing they can do about this, actually. Just kinda fucked if I do this. I think this guy is actually already in range. So... Well, let's see. Yep. As I thought. Immediately. This is their one actual dreadnought. Everything else is pre-dreadnoughts, which I think the primary disadvantage of pre-dreadnoughts in this game is basically speed. Alright, boys. Let's bear down on them, shall we? Oh, there's actually a Queen Elizabeth class at the end of the line. Because of the weird way that these are organized. Interesting. Supposed to just be the light cruisers back there. But in this case it might help us. Oh, there's actually another Kaiser class. Oh, there's actually 3. Okay, well. At least we're in a position to disproportionately lay on our firepower. sink a few of these cargo ships real quick. Yep, there we go. Bro, you guys are fucked. This is the nightmare scenario right here. For any naval battle. You're all grouped up in this position where every single enemy ship can shoot at you. And you're not really able to return fire effectively on any of them. You're also outnumbered, by the way. That was a very high-speed collision. This game is not designed to account for that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is funny. That is very funny. This is kind of stop in their tracks. They lost her bowsprit, though. Do I get to take some of these?
Now we shall see their true colors.
They're surrendered, my dude. Do I get to take some of those? Can I has?
None shall
No.
pass.
Not allowed. Not in this game. Oh well. Oh well. Let me just put somebody down here to make sure. To make sure the Germans aren't tempted. Okay. Well, that was a pretty good turn, I would say. We dealt with this. We haven't fully dealt with this, but the threat has been eliminated. We dealt with this blockading navy without losing a single ship, so I'm happy. This is happening.
For honor and for the prize.
Yep.
Cover them.
There we go.
are ours.
Por la libertad de España.
And yeah,
Qué misión.
the Austrians retreated.
All hands on deck. All hands on deck.
Interesting.
Make those lovely dogs eat humble pie.
Un verdadero hijo de España a su servicio, señor.
Send them to Davy Jones' locker. Our nation rules the sea.
Didn't lose any of these highly depleted units, which is good. And now they can chill here, and Amsterdam is... it's not as unhappy as it once was. So that's good. And
¿Se llamaba, señor?
these guys were recruited as an act of emergency and are no longer required. Well, this is pretty well stabilized, actually. Especially with France helping out up here. Basically, they have to worry about this path here, and this. Those are my three concerns other than the sea, and for those three concerns, I have 3 armies. 2 of them are up here, but this guy will head back. Alexander Abercrombie. Well, he's looking a little worse for wear. I do appreciate the addition of this. Or if a general sees too much combat, it's actually a bad thing. Does not exist in vanilla, but you repair my damn ports. And this guy is still trying to land. And I'm trying to build a navy. Which is, you know, we're actually doing pretty well at this point. We got 6 capital ships. We have won some naval victories against the Germans. And like these will be a long time coming, but 4 turns I'll have 7 capital ships. And I'm actually to the point now where I can afford these things. Because, like, that's my current naval upkeep. How much does a dreadnought require? It's 900 a turn. Well, that means I could have 22 of them and still be breaking even. And that's on minimum taxes. Remember back in the day when I didn't have enough money to build a fucking army? But now we're just spooled up. That's where we are. Of course, everybody else is spooled up as well. Like, we got all these big factories built. We got, like, these guys in particular. These are absolute monsters relative to anything that exists in the base game. Like, 20 per turn, 2 town wealth. How much is England growing? 137. And the tax rate is... this isn't the real tax rate. This is like... because my tax rate is low. But like with all the bonuses to the tax rate, it's up to 57. Which means, from London... just hold on, let me pull out a calculator real quick. Okay, so London, 137 times 57% is 78, which means that excluding any new buildings that are under construction, which there are, that will also increase this, but just currently as it stands now, I'm getting 78 gold per turn. And this is at fucking 16,000. It's all these ports too. Of course, the lower classes are not very happy with all of this, but because the ports have a negative effect on that, and so do the factories. But 78 per turn, just from London. These other places are actually not that far behind. Anyway, I actually don't know where to spend this $12,000. What a nice problem to have. I guess I should repair this. But that means I can save it for when I have enough to build more capital ships. But the thing is, like with capital ships and other things that have a lot of lead time, once you're able to build them, you don't need as many as you're able to build. Like there's a certain tip over point, which you do see. The United States in the Second World War is the best example of this from real history, where like we canceled at least 4 capital ships, I think, and that's battleships that weren't actually that relevant to that point. I don't know how many carriers were canceled, but I think we canceled 2 Iowas. There might have been 4 Iowas, like ships that were actually laid down, and I think there were 2 Alaskas that were laid down that were also canceled. But like other countries, they wish they had 4 capital ships that they could cancel, right? Like, oh no, I'm building too many ships. What a good problem to have. Well, that's good. You know, I think there's not actually as many troops here as there once were. Like, I feel like there were a lot more full 20 stacks sitting around earlier. I've killed a lot of them in this region. I think I can just like keep going back and forth between these two because this is like an optional side branch on the path to this. You could just keep. It's a weird one. This building is the more income, but it has contributes to unhappiness. And this one is like more recruitment cost bonuses, less income. Let's see, build artillery. Anyway, I still have 3 ships to build before I get out of like the named ones, right? I'm not sure that I should be building the battle cruisers. Like you want to build the special ones from history, but I'm not sure I want to build the battle cruisers actually. There's not really that much of a purpose for them. I do wonder how many capital ships that guy has. But this guy, potentially 7. About where I'm headed to, so we'll chill on attacking him for now.